Okay, I think we are live. Welcome to the 10th event where we discuss SaaS success stories in the region and abroad. Since we hosted the events, we had 10 events and 15 speakers from the region and around the globe. And before we dive into today's session, we have a special announcement. SaaS Talk Local Ljubljana has partnered up with two new partners. Silicon Garden Fund, an early stage fund by founders for founders that support the next generation of entrepreneurs. And Ancora, a product development and design company that works with startups and enterprises. Thank you both for partnering and supporting the event. So on this occasion, we are hosting Nikola Boykov, co-founder and CEO of Macedonian startup EmbedSocial, a platform that helps businesses sell more with the help of their customers. EmbedSocial initially started as a digital agency and transformed to the SaaS product. Nikola, welcome to the event.
Hey, thanks for having me, and thanks for having this opportunity to share our story and the lessons that we've learned along the way.
So to kick off the session, what exactly does EmbedSocial do, and how do you make money?
Yeah, so EmbedSocial is a platform that helps customers build brands, build trust, and with that sales, with the help of their happy customers. What that means is that we help companies acquire, manage, and display user-generated content in the forms of reviews, posts, feeds, videos, and display that content on their website, on their mobile app, and with that help them increase trust, conversion rates, and sales.
Okay.
And
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Basically it's a SaaS, so we charge a monthly subscription fee where you can pay. The pricing starts at $19 per month with the Pro package, and upwards for the bigger packages.
You've been in this business for a while, and what was the catalyst moment from switching to agency to SaaS?
Well, basically, it all happened kind of unexpected. Like we were working as a digital marketing agency for a few years, maybe more, and we were doing really well. We started 2009 when the big financial crisis happened, and brands were looking for cheaper and more effective marketing channels. That coincided with the rise of Facebook and Twitter and digital marketing in particular. So we hopped on that train. We became recognized as a Facebook marketing partner company back in 2012. And we were doing pretty well as a digital agency. We were doing campaigns for big brands, Heineken, Lufthansa, and many others. And then one day, while we were working, my co-founder, Kate, came into the office and she said, I'm sick and tired of uploading images twice, first to the client's website and then to the client's Facebook page. Is there any option that we can get the photos directly from the Facebook page so that I can only upload them there and I will save some time? And she sat down with two of our developers, and in a few days they created a script that would allow you to input just the link to a Facebook album, and then we'll generate an iframe code that you can place on your website, and it will display the photos for you. So we did this, and we decided to it might be useful for other digital agencies or for other small companies to save some time, also some bandwidth, some storage on their hosting packages. So we decided to name this widget EmbedSocial. We created a landing page, and that was basically it. We sent an email to a few blogs who are writing about Facebook. They published this, and it started taking off organically. So bloggers were starting to use the tool. They started writing about it, and until we forgot about EmbedSocial. And then one day we were working, and all of a sudden our servers crashed, and we were wondering like what's going on. Clients were starting to call us like angry, like what's going on? We have campaigns running, we're spending money on ads. Why is our apps down, our website down? And while trying to solve the issue, we realized that a news portal in Malaysia put our EmbedSocial widget on their front page with millions of visitors. Obviously, this was not optimized to handle that load, and it crashed our server. So this made us think like maybe there is something more here than a free widget that we were offering. And previously, we were trying to develop our own product. Along the way, we had 2 or 3 unsuccessful attempts. And this coincided with the opening of the Fund of Innovation in Skopje. So they announced their call for ideas and startups to apply for a grant. And we thought that this might be a good thing for us to do our homework. Even if we don't get the grant, we'll still create a business plan, and then we can develop the platform alongside the agency. And basically, on our huge surprise, we were selected as one of the early projects to be funded. We got a 30K investment from the fund, and that helped us spend 1 year developing, setting up the platform, the infrastructure, and after that, we tried to run both the agency and develop the platform, but we quickly realized that that's not going to happen. We had our customers who were really happy with us. By that point, with the agency, they started getting more nervous because we were not paying that much attention to their needs. On the other hand, the platform was not the development was not going really smooth and well because we were not 100% focused on that. And in the end, we had to make a tough decision on what to do, and we made a brave decision, basically, to shut down the agency and just scale down from around 20 people and start and give this a chance to this platform EmbedSocial. And now we are today more than 30 people in Skopje. We have 3 people in Tokyo, Japan. So if I would have to go and make the same decision, I would make the same decision.
Yeah, I mean, interesting because when I talk to agency owners that wants to switch to SaaS, I notice that people don't really imagine the scenario that this transition will be easy. When you sit on 2 chairs, it's really hard to decide. So you didn't sell the agency, you just shut it down.
Yep. Yeah, it was a big surprise to all our partners because we were working with the major advertising agencies in Macedonia and the region, like McCann, Publicis, and it was a shock to them because they had a trusted partner in us who they can count on, and it was hard for them to search for a new agency to help them with their digital needs.
Weren't you afraid that you will have a cash flow problems because starting the software business from scratch, it's not easy. You probably need the money for at least a year. You said you didn't raise the money. You got the fund from the government. So you still didn't raise the money. You're still, let's say, bootstrapping.
Yeah, so we were definitely, and but we had the money from the government, and then we invested our own money that we made with the agency. So basically, we went like all in on this project, and obviously in Macedonia back in the day, there were no VC funds, no other opportunities to find early investment, so you can focus on developing a product. So making money with as an agency or working on side projects was a was the only option, you know. And along the way, we were always trying to create a product. And I mentioned we had a few failures there. We learned a lot from those failures. And what made me decide was that we were getting one client per day, one new client per day with EmbedSocial, and they were staying. And the feedback that we were getting is that we are saving them a lot of time, even though we didn't put a man on the moon, but we were just solving a simple problem, like you have to upload. For example, if you make a lot of events, you need to upload those photos on your website, then you have to upload them on Facebook. So you waste time on that. And if you have a lot of events, then also people were very familiar with Facebook because everybody was using Facebook and it was easy for them to upload photos on Facebook. But if you ask common people or a small business to upload photos in WordPress or any other CMS, they might have trouble. So this was a really easy solution for them. And the feedback we got from the early users was really encouraging, and it helped us make that decision.
So the one thing that I was always fascinated with founders switching from agency to SaaS or switching to any other business is how fast they learn new skills. Can you share what was the biggest struggle switching in business model, the processes, delivery model, and at the end of the day, you have to reduce your team from 30 to 4. So what was this learning curve, or what was the number one thing that you learned?
Yeah, well, we thought it would be very easy. We were really confident because I think that it's not every day that you meet an agency from Macedonia that is recognized as a Facebook marketing partner, and that helped us visit some conferences, some invite-only events organized by Facebook, which gave us a lot of confidence and knowledge, you know. And I think that we thought that it would be very easy. We've built over 1,000 apps on Facebook platform. We knew the platform. We were working with it every day, so we were very confident that the transition from agency to product would be very seamless and easy for us. It turned out it's not, but it was a good lesson, and it humbled us. It put us back on the drawing board, you know. And I think that it requires a lot of different skills. Running an agency and running a product company is completely different. There are some common things, but one thing that helped us develop as an agency was our reliability, and our partners and customers knew that they can rely on us to deliver what we promised. And even if in some projects they went with another agency, they would call us later on to fix what the other agency failed to do, you know. So they know that if they work with us, they will get what we promise. And we continue to do this with the product as well. You know, if we said something to an early user that we will do this or we will build this feature, we stick to that, even though we might have something better to do, you know. But the whole thing is regarding skill. I think is that you have to reset, and you have to realize that you don't know nothing, and to start to learn all over again about how to run a product, how to build a product, how to make decisions. And I think that that is the biggest skill that can differentiate a successful product, like making decisions, when to cut, you know, like when to stop developing and release it, what to build next, So there is a saying, I think, in Silicon Valley, like if you are not embarrassed by the first version, you shipped too late. So these kinds of things we had to learn the hard way. But yeah, it's a completely different new skill set that you need in order to build a successful product.
Are you selling to the same customer segment now, or completely different market?
We have digital agencies as customers, so we understand the agency business well. It's really hard, on the other hand, to sell to digital agencies because basically they make money on the margin they can get from the customer. Now our focus is mainly on small and medium businesses.
So how do you approach the agency, and what's your entry product or feature to that is easiest to sell?
Basically, we try to tell agencies that we were an agency and we understand their pain points. So basically, every customer wants to have a reliable, trustworthy website or online presence that can generate trust and that can help increase conversions. And that's exactly what we are doing and solving with the EmbedSocial platform. We have built a special agency account type, which allows agencies to manage multiple sub accounts for each of their clients, or there is a lot of flexibility in the way they want to manage their customers. So yeah, that's our approach, but it's really hard to sell to agencies.
Yeah. You have a strong focus also on Asian market, specifically on Japan,
Yep.
as you mentioned. How come? How did you find yourself selling to Japanese companies?
Yeah, that's a great question. So basically, just after we decided to shut down the agency and we scaled down the number of employees, we started to look for new team members, and the first team member to join EmbedSocial as EmbedSocial, Yane, he just came back from master studies in Japan, and he was really excited to join us and to help us expand and grow and to build the product. And while giving updates to his friends in Japan, like, okay, now I have a new job, and one of his friends started to ask him more questions about it, and he said, like, this sounds really interesting. I want to get involved. Can I represent this on the Japanese market? And I was initially really skeptical because we had a small team. We didn't have too much resources to dedicate to develop that market, but he was very persistent, and that helped make a really, looking now in hindsight, Japanese market. And when we did initial research, we found that it was really hard for other competitors to enter this market, and we saw this as a unique opportunity to gain a strategic advantage over the rest of the competition, and that if we made it in Japan, we would have a great strategic advantage that nobody could take that easily away from us.
So your advantage was you have a local team there, so Japanese people.
Yeah.
That represent. So
yeah, we are always joking, like if we there is a joke in Macedonia, like if I wanted to find a person like you, I couldn't find it even if I was searching you with police, So we are always joking, like if we wanted to find the perfect partner in Japan, we couldn't have imagined of a better partner than our current partner.
How big is the cut that comes from Asia? Is it 10%, 20%? Or how much do you sell to Asia?
Currently is around 20% and growing fast.
Okay. Any specific differences selling to Asia? Because here in our region, people usually sell to either European or US market. So what are the
Yeah,
outtakes from the Asian
yes.
markets?
So it's a completely different market. I think that to understand the market, you obviously have to be there and to understand the way they conduct business is completely different from what we are getting from our US customers or our European customers. I think that one of the reasons we are successful over there again is the people who are representing us there and the trust we have in them to make the right decision. Because I think that if they were listening to me and we wouldn't have had a successful operations there. They just understand the market and understand it takes a lot of patience, a lot of different approach. Like if you came to me and tell me that we would get one of the biggest corporations in Japan as a customer by putting a PR text in a print magazine, I would have laughed, but that's what happened. Because the thing is that we are natively a digital business, and we all the marketing we've done is digital marketing, and now we are doing print or PR in print magazines in Japan. So yeah, that's the difference.
Assuming that the past year didn't really hit your numbers, since more and more people spend time online, and most importantly, most businesses embrace
Mm.
software. Currently, how many clients do you serve, and what's the average deal size?
Well, basically, we thought that we might have a negative impact from the COVID side because again, a lot of our customers are restaurants and small businesses who are offline businesses who use Google reviews or Facebook reviews, and most of them were shut down during this crisis. So what helped us continue to grow even in this crisis is that we have multiple products. So we saw a decline in one of the products, but we saw other products picking up, and this helped us continue to grow. Currently, we have more than 100,000 registered users. We have most of them are free. We have a few thousand paying customers, and the ARPU is around $40 to $50.
What's the point when you start charging, and how did you find the point? Is it a point that you set up, or did you track and see how what's the right time to start charging the
Mm.
customers?
Yeah, that's a really great question. Like we initially when we launched EmbedSocial, the starting price was $5 per month, and we offered 50% discount. So the first customers were paying $2.50 per month, and there's still customers who are paying $2.50, and they're using the whole platform. We started with one product, now we have 5 products. So, but the first thing when we got accepted into the startup ecosystem, the family, the first advice we got: increase the price. And we went home, we increased the price, and we saw no decline in the new trials, new signups, and we were very happy. So we increased from $5 to $10, and then we decided to, after I think 6 months, we decided, okay, let's try and increase the price again. So we increased the price from $10 to $19. and again, we saw no cancellations. No, I mean the previous customers in price they were paying, the new customers start paying more. We still saw the numbers continue to grow, and we tried to do it again. So basically, for 3 of the 4 products, we increased the starting price from $19 to $29. Again, we saw no meaningful impact on the number of new trials and signups. And now we're sticking with this entry point as a price. And what we also great advice is that when I read the cancellation messages, if I don't see any message like you're too expensive, then I think there is room to increase the price. But now we get messages that we are expensive, or we are now positioned on the high end on the market segment.
You mentioned the family. So you were in Paris, or was it the part of the accelerator?
Well, it was a interesting story how we find out. We were when we decided to close down the agency and focus on the product, on the EmbedSocial. We tried to find people who've already done this in Macedonia and to ask for advice and to ask for guidance. Someone who can help us to go through the early issues and challenges, and we couldn't find anybody who've done a successful B2B SaaS. And we won a local pitching competition organized by TechCrunch. They gave us tickets to exhibit in Berlin on their TechCrunch conference. And while we were in Berlin, we thought let's try to find some local events to learn how to scale our startup. So at the same day, there were 2 events with the same name, how to scale your startup, in 2 different locations. And we booked both. And then we went to the first event, and it turned out it was just a bad video streaming of a event taking place in San Francisco. The sound was terrible, and we decided to try and make it to the other event, and that's how we ended up in the family. And we got to speak with them a little bit. After that, they said we have a new batch. Why don't you apply? We came back to Macedonia. We had a meeting with the team, and we said, okay, let's try this. And we applied. We had an interview, and they after 2 weeks they just gave us that we're in, and they called us to join them in a castle in Paris for an onboarding weekend, which was really great experience. And we've gotten a lot of great advice from them over the years.
So did you stay in Paris, or you went to Paris for the onboarding and then you have sessions via Zoom?
Yeah, we went for the weekend for the onboarding, and then we used the magic of Slack, and we would go every few months to Paris for some dinners and events, but mostly it was through Slack and Zoom.
I attend a couple of events hosted by the family. And yeah, it was the last event of the evening that I went, because these events are really great events, but you can't leave, actually. And anything else that you learned from the family, the accelerator? So would you suggest early stage startups to join such accelerators, and why would they join the accelerators?
Yeah, for us it was really beneficial because they helped us change our mindset a little bit and help us think in another direction than we were used to in the living in the Balkan. And when you speak with your local peers or local community, they tend to think in the same direction. and what we were getting as advice from them really made us think, and I think the best thing is that they didn't gave us the answer, but they kept asking questions, and they made us realize what was the real answer, and yeah, I think that definitely it will help early stage startups to have access to these people, so you can talk to one of the really successful investors. They are engineers who worked in a big now a big companies, but back in the day they were also startups, and there is a lot of knowledge and experience that you can get from just by attending events, talking with them every week, and being in touch.
Speaking of the feedback, for all the attendees that are listening to this session, please leave the comments. We are live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. So if you leave the comments at the end, Nicola will answer all of the comments. Let's go back to the mentors and the learning curve. So you put a lot of effort in learning from the family and other mentors, and now you mentioned also that you try to give back what you learn. Um, how did you find knowledge when you were in the transition from the agency beside the family, and what exact knowledge were you looking for? Because you can dig into the sales and marketing and pricing and HR and all this stuff. So what was the number one problem that you want to solve?
Yeah, like when you're starting a product company, you're like running around, not having a clue what you're doing. One day you want to focus on sales, day you want to focus on marketing, next week you want to focus on product. So a lot of knowledge came from reading books, reading interesting biographies, interesting business books, startup books, obviously the Lean Startup. There's some great books by the guys from Basecamp. There's some also a great book, The Hard Things About Hard Things. So listening, I still do this. Basically, I read a lot of book, and recently I think I would recommend to anybody who's interested to read Ask Your Developer from the CEO of Twilio. So attending events, attending conferences, like we would always book conferences in San Francisco, in Paris, in Berlin, in London. We would visit just to network, to find other people who are doing something similar, so you can have a conversation, because mostly you have the same issues and same challenges facing each other, And the best way is to try and fail. Learn, and move on. So I think that's the best thing to do. And you need sometimes luck. Like I was visiting San Francisco, and I was trying to find some events to visit, and I stumbled upon a event organized by Amplitude for product management, and I learned about Amplitude, and now we're using Amplitude for a lot of time. And every startup now that I speak, and when most of the successful startups are using Amplitude to track the events and what their users are doing with their product, and these kind of things you cannot plan. You need just sometimes luck, and to be in the right place in the right time.
Do you think it's luck? Because you traveled a lot. You went to San Francisco, you went to Paris. I imagine you went to other conferences. You learned a lot. You applied to family. Do you think it's luck, or is your energy and willingness to learn? Because if you put all of your travels and networking away, then your luck, the luck doesn't help. So I think it's
Yeah.
also your work and your efforts you put into it. Let's go back to reading books. I read
Can I
recently
just
that
add a comment?
yeah.
Yeah, so I think that you just have to be prepared to make the most out of your luck or your
Yeah.
opportunity. Like even if you stumble upon something, you have to be ready. You have to be prepared. What are the questions I'm going to ask? What kind of answers do I need to find? So I look at it like this: you have to be prepared all the time, and you don't know when luck will smile on you. Like it's just like playing on a NBA basketball team. You're sitting on the bench, but you have to be prepared. You don't know any second you can enter the game, and then this is your chance to show.
Going back to books and learnings, I recently read an article on how to's don't actually work because you have to figure it out on your own.
Mhm.
And if I ask you about the book and what book would you suggest, it's really not right for me at the stage that I am. Maybe it's too early. Maybe it's too late. So and there are a lot of books out there. I mean, asking for a book recommendation is like, oh, maybe it's not for you. Maybe you're far behind or far away. So how do you pick books and how do you pick what you have to learn on the stage that you are? So basically, when you start the company, you have to learn everything about Lean Startup and Eric Ries and all this stuff. When you go and you have 20 employees, you read books like you mentioned, Hard Things About Hard Things, but I'm assuming you're not there. You're not at the IPO, but you get something else from this book. You
Yeah.
probably get the struggles that are waiting you there, and you get the energy and maybe motivation. So, how do you pick books, and how do you pick what you learn?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I agree with you. Not every time a book can really help you because it depends on the scale and the stage you are. Obviously, at every different things, you have different challenges that you need to face. So, but there are books that can help you, like let's say about how to approach things, and one book I love is Delivering Happiness by Tony Hsieh from Zappos founder, and this is the book that we make every new team member read in the first month after joining EmbedSocial, because it kind of tells us a lot about how to speak to customers, how to think about customers, how to treat them, and that's something that we discovered, and I think it's also one of the reasons why we are growing is that we have a relentless focus on customers and being involved in reviews. We see a lot of insight coming from reading reviews. So what we are seeing is that, for example, there most of the negative reviews happen obviously if somebody had an unpleasant experience or a negative experience with your brand, and they requested a refund. And then you didn't refund them, and they went on Google or Facebook, they wrote a negative review, and then you reply, okay, we'll refund you, and can you remove the review, And all this can create a negative energy in the team and can demoralize the whole stuff. So that's why we try, like, if anybody asks for a refund, sure. If you don't want to use our product long term, we're not going to get a lot richer for $30 or $40. And so you can learn basically a lot from depends on the type of book, but yeah, I think that now what I'm doing is I'm trying to focus on what the biggest currently challenge is that we are facing, that I need to solve, and then I try to find people who've faced this challenge, who've solved it successfully. I ask them to recommend a book on that help them solve this challenge, and then obviously I would try to read reviews about the book, to see if it's just let's say, something that you can. There's no real meat in the book. Basically, it's just more mainstream, or you can find some exact solutions to your problems.
Do you ever drop the book like halfway through because it's
Yeah.
full of BS? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So speaking about the customers leaving and churn, when running SaaS, one of most important metrics is retention. How do you deal with retention now? And what do you see the difference between running the agency and keeping the customers and running the SaaS business? Yeah, how do you keep your churn low?
Yeah, I think that running a SaaS company, it's really, you have a lot of advantages that you don't have running an agency. Like the marginal cost for every new user is basically zero. So it doesn't require anything to make a refund or to give a free month to a user who is not happy, or to offer some discount. So these are some tools that we are basically using to understand our customers better and to say sorry if we made a mistake. So we're always willing to give you a free month or something that we admit our mistake. And churn, we always try to, we have a customer success team who is dedicated to respond as fast as possible. And I mean, as fast as possible in like under 30 seconds or under a in what more than I think 12 hours per day. So basically, we don't have 24/7 support, but we have workdays, customer success agents from 9 a.m. Till 10 p.m. So and customers are really they are surprised when they get a response like in less than 30 seconds, because I was joking with the team, like we use intercom, and even intercom replies in a day or two. So even if we pay a lot of money per month, compared to what we charge our users, that's the standard. Like if you shoot an email to any SaaS, you'll probably get a response in 24 to 48 hours. Like we respond in right away. Like if it's in this period, you will get a response right away. If it's not, you will get the response the next morning. This is how we keep customers happy, and also we try to reach out to them on email. We try to track them on LinkedIn, so we can, if they don't respond to our emails, then we can send them a message on LinkedIn. And I think the key is that we have a customer success team who is focused on making the customers understand the value that they are getting from EmbedSocial, and to help them get more value out of the platform.
Yeah. Do you have a support team in just one time zone, or Asia? You have separate teams in Asia and in Europe and US?
We have currently the support team is in Macedonia only, and basically they cover those hours. So that's mainly working hours in Europe and US. In Japan, we have a different situation. We don't offer their live chat support, but we do have the Japan team is responding on email and on phone.
we haven't touched the customer acquisition strategy yet. I save it for the end. So what was your customer acquisition at the beginning when you starting? Did you call the best customers from the agency, and how did you build up the customer acquisition engine, and what's missing now? So what are your plans for? Is it inbound, outbound? Is it a combination? So
Yeah,
can we talk a
so
bit much more?
yeah, I think that we can say to have the widget online for a period where when we didn't try to find customers. The customers found the widget organically themselves through word of mouth and blog posts, and this helped us establish the brand. And basically, yeah, we use most of the marketing is focused now on content marketing and SEO. So we are trying to get new customers through organic channels like Google search, and through word of mouth, we use our own product to get new customers. So uh, mostly the happy customers who are satisfied with the product, with the attention they're getting from our customer success team, they are willing to spread the word around for us. And this has worked pretty well so far. And this year now we're starting to experiment with outbound sales and with paid advertising with Facebook and Google Ads.
Okay, so you haven't tested the sales yet. So you're setting up the processes now.
Yeah, we are now we are starting to have one dedicated person from today.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, last call for the comments and questions. And let me see if I have anything here. Um, what are the goals for the next quarter and for the next year, beside building the sales team? What are your goals here?
Yeah, so now we're focused on building the infrastructure. So it was really great that when we were 4 or 5 people, we were shipping really fast. We were shipping new features every day. We were fixing bugs right away. So now we are building the infrastructure to be able to do that again. We are focused on hiring now. We are looking to add new developers to the team. So basically, we can have a dedicated team for each of our products that can manage and develop them further with new functionalities and features. We also now just launched a new product called Embed Forms a few weeks ago. So we are now trying to get some early customers to test it out and to get some feedback so we can improve and start to develop that product as well. So yeah, we doubled the team in the last 6 months. So we are now looking to double the team again by the end of the year. We are currently 30 people, so we hope to find another 30 by the end of the year. And obviously, we're trying to set up a sales team and try to establish that as a new channel for customers, and also to put more effort into paid advertising.
So you're hiring on the sales department, the development engineering, customer success, anything
Yep.
else?
Product managers, which I think are key, and this is a talent that in Macedonia we are lucky to have some great engineering talent. So we are now trying to find some product managers also and some marketing people.
Planning to raise any money, or you are profitable, so you don't need
Yeah, so we are bootstrapping currently. We are reinvesting all the money in the team and building the company.
Mhm.
At some point, we'll need some money and we'll need some help to go after a bigger up market and to go after bigger clients in the US. So going to the US obviously takes a lot of money. Yeah, but for the time, we understand that fundraising is a full-time job, and we want to focus the rest of this year to set up the proper infrastructure to support that sales teams and our new customers. So we'll be ready probably for next year.
Awesome. Nicola, thank you very much for this conversation. A lot of golden nuggets here. I wish you all the best with the upcoming year. Yeah, all the best to your team, and hope you get the goals, the set goals, and the new hires. So wish you all the luck.
Thanks a lot, and thanks for again for this opportunity to share more about our story.
Thank you. And before we end, I just want to thank to our partners today, Silicon Gardens Fund and Ancora development team. So I hope you enjoyed this session. It was the 10th session. We have two more events coming in June. I will not reveal the speakers, but one is the French company with 120 employees, bootstrapped, and this will be the last event by the end of the summer. So hope you all enjoyed the session with Nicola, and see you on the next event.